Network. www.giveusashot.network. If you're looking for some dope merch like the Shot Boys t-shirt, Shot Girls coming soon, head on over. If you're looking for some dope podcasts like Push the Agenda, Ty dropped a new one today. You'll also find the Mike Show, stuff about sports, Smart Out Club, 3-episode podcast. What's pipe bomb?
Pain Train Pipe Bomb. Can you hear me?
Am I frozen?
Oh yeah, you're frozen. You're gone for a second.
We lost audio somehow. I'm back.
You're back. Welcome back.
Hey, yeah. Today we're going to continue as we inch closer to the NFL season. We will finish up our NFL preview. We only have 2 divisions left. Today we will be doing the NFC North, and next week we will finish up with the AFC West. And then we'll probably just rank the top 5 teams as we approach or give our final thoughts on the NFL season, final predictions. And then the week after, September 8th, is the Stuff About Sports, the Give Us a Shot Network Fantasy Football Draft Special. We're going to have signups. We probably got to do them pretty soon here. But we will get that going for you guys. And of course, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. But Ty, is there anywhere you want to start specifically?
Well, first of all, I gotta say I made a mistake. I went live on the network page for a second. So we were like, actually, right now we're actually live on the network page and the Stuff About Sports page, which cool by me.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I definitely want to talk about Popovich to the Nets. Like that's definitely what I want to talk about. I put that actually the first when I typed the description. I'm like Popovich to the Nets ? Yeah. Like I want to talk about that. Where are you hearing this? Like what's going on?
So there was a rumor, and I hate the dirt sheet type things. I hate listening to stuff like that but it's so incredibly strange that I feel like it's true. You know what I mean? You don't hear anything like how strange is it that Popovich would be linked to the Nets unless Popovich somehow was linked to the Nets. But you know how this goes. People get to talking. There's a lot of things happening in Brooklyn. Apparently, this has been talked about since Kenny Atkinson was fired. So I guess there's some friction going on in San Antonio with Popovich and the Spurs front office, which is strange because he basically is the front office.
That's what I thought.
But apparently Kevin Durant, even before he signed with Golden State, entertained going to San Antonio strictly for Popovich. And so yeah, like that's the ongoing rumor.
I'm not sure. Are you there? I don't know if you keep cutting out. I don't know what's going on. You hear me?
I'm here. Yeah, I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay. You cut out. You cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry.
I'm thinking maybe I should turn off the network live. Let's stay on the Stuff About Sports page just in case there was like too much liveness going on. But I love it though. You know, who's the coach of the Nets right now? What's his name?
Nobody. It's Atkinson was fired, and the interim coach has been coaching the team. I don't even know his name.
Yeah, well, he's been doing a good job. It seems like is what I'm getting at. So you know, these guys are playing. I mean, they're playing. I guess they're playing well already, and that's something that I like about the Nets is that it seems like once they get KD and Kyrie, or even one of them, it just seems like it's going to put them, you know, really, really closer to real contention because, you know, with a bunch of no names, these guys play very well. I hate to call them no names. I wish I knew their names, but it's like they're not you know, they're not stars. They're not, you know, they're not the average. Unless you're a Nets fan and you're constantly watching Nets, you don't really know who these guys are, but they play their asses off. So, you know, I can only imagine them with a Popovich and obviously with the Kevin Durant. I think that they're a serious contender.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. Sean Marks is the GM for Brooklyn. He was an assistant under Popovich. Sean Marks is the new GM of Brooklyn right now.
Hmm.
He was there during some of the title wins. Well, Sean Marks, I don't think he's new, but he's been there for a minute. But again, Popovich, him and Sean Marks, Popovich has a huge coaching tree. So I'm pretty sure Sean Marks gave him the little 4-1-1. Hey, we have Kyrie, we have Kevin, and San Antonio's been going down. What did they miss the playoffs for like the first time in forever? Like damn
17
near
seasons, I think.
17 seasons. I mean, uh, then now you're adding they're the eighth seed now. It doesn't look like they're going to make it far if in the playoffs. They're probably going to get swept. But next year you add Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving with Jarrett Allen and Karis LeVert, a young star, Joe Harris, a sharpshooter.
Yeah, Karis LeVert. He's balling.
I mean, the Brooklyn Nets are ready to go to be a title contender, not just like a good team. Like that team can be a title contender instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just, think about the Spurs. He has 1 year left on his contract. Saying, here's why I can be talked into it. Pop is more than just a coach for the Spurs. He is San Antonio Spurs. He is that franchise. He's what is he outside of a college coach like Coach K? He's a bigger face of a franchise than any player that has played. And there's been some great players that's played for San Antonio. So Pop is, that's I just don't see it happening. I really don't. But
Mm-hmm.
I could be talked into it and then the reasons I gave would be it. But I don't think it's going to happen. That's just it's too crazy to just dismiss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's an interesting thing to think about, and I mean, I obviously being a Sixers fan, I would hate to see that in our conference. But it'd be obviously be intriguing with him with some more talent. And I mean, what they have now in San Antonio, I think it's just tough in the West, and I don't think they're that far off either. They have a lot of young talent in San Antonio. So
Yeah, 100%, 100%. You know where else where the talent is residing? A famous Instagram, I'm going to quote model. I'm not going to give her name because these slam pigs don't deserve any type of recognition. It's already bad enough what they do. But she basically went out and outed 7 Phoenix Suns players, saying that she gave them all oral. Uh, you know, that's that. And they went 8-0 in the bubble. So I guess she did her job. Team bonding at its finest, right? Like, that's strange though, right? That's like a strange team thing to do together.
honestly, you cut out, but I heard parts of it,
Mm.
and I that's a little bothersome. I want to check social media and feel like make sure we're good. But man, you're saying that she took care of all the Suns players. Is saying is like a girl came out and said she took care of all the
7,
players, seven of the
7.
players.
Yeah,
Good for her. I mean, I hope she
yeah,
got. I hope she made a lot of money. Good for her.
yeah.
Good.
But shout out to her because there's women in this world that just play their position. You know what you are. You know what you, and I mean, not just we're saying women now because this story's about a woman, but it could be a man too. Like you just know what you are, you know who you are, you know what you offer and what you're only good for, and you
But
live that
you
life.
shouldn't though. You have more to offer. Everybody has more to offer, and they should not be doing that. That's not a good way to treat your body.
No,
I
she
have to
doesn't.
say. She does. You don't know her. She should. If she could learn.
I
You think
know.
is there not knowledge out there for her to learn and grow and get better, become a better person and do more with herself than sell her body? I'm sorry.
Listen, man.
I can't let that get out there. The airwaves like it's okay to. I don't think so. I don't think it is okay. But
Listen, man.
if that's what you do. That's what you do. I don't want to judge. Just you shouldn't be treating your body that way.
Listen, man. If I don't have any feet, I can't be a sneaker tester. Okay, I can't be a sneak. Shout out to her. She relieved that team's stress, and you know what they went out and did? They went undefeated in the bubble. There's players out there. We got a Seahawks player. Speaking of which, the Seahawks player is like basically ruined his career by trying to sneak a chick into into the NFL bubble or whatever, sneak her into the bubble that Seattle's trying to create for themselves for training camp. Sneaks her in wearing Seahawks apparel. Like, would he say, "Oh, this is Russell Wilson. Don't mind the high heels"? Like, how did he get that off?
Oh
Is it
man.
like, is it like it can't be worth it, right? We have to see what she looks like, no?
Yeah, no. Well, we did. We looked at
Yeah,
her,
right.
and
It's not worth it, right?
I don't want to. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to. I didn't want to go there. Um, yeah, I mean,
She wasn't. If
I'm
that's
not.
true, if that's her real picture, she wasn't worth it, 100%.
Yeah, I wouldn't lose my career. I wouldn't lose millions of dollars over that, or any kind of money over that.
Yeah. You know what? There was a guy out in Charlotte down here. I don't know if this made national news, but because I live here in North Carolina, it definitely made the North Carolina sports radio. The broadcaster for the Hornets, John Falk, he got suspended because he sent a tweet out congratulating the Utah and Denver game the other day, and he had a typo, and he called it a mistype or an autocorrection, where he says shot making in this Jazz N-word game is awesome. Murray and Mitchell going back and forth. What a game. Hard tie. Hard ER. The
Oh
hard
no,
ER.
the ER.
Yup. And the N beep GGERS. He said it was a mistype autocorrect. How do you autocorrect to the N word?
First of all, I don't
Like,
think that you can autocorrect to the N word. Isn't that?
unless
Is this,
unless you use that word a lot and your phone
unless
remembers.
you set it to not block it, because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's blocked and doesn't come up automatically.
No, the dictionary, you can't even like force. You can't even speak it. Like, you can't.
Now I'm imagining him texting his racist friends
Yeah.
and typing it in and being like, "I'm tired of this correcting. I'm trying to say nerd." And
Yeah.
Bix is like, "No, I'm going into the dictionary. I'm adding it so it no longer does it." And now he's on Twitter and it autocorrected him, and he just was like, "Oh shoot,"
Yeah.
because I don't
Not
think
a
he
good
can
look.
autocorrect to that.
You can't. Like, he has to. You have to say. He has to say it a lot. Like, I mean, you.
Mm.
Oh, I mean, like, show. I want somebody to show me their keyboard autocorrecting to that. Nobody. It doesn't do that. You have to, like, like, shoot, regular dictionaries in the world just pretend the word doesn't exist. So he he had to have used it a couple of times. Like, it just doesn't. Yeah. Anyway, so he's in trouble. He's suspended. They didn't fire him. I don't know this guy's reputation. I don't know. I guess it's a plausible accident, but it's a funny visual of a tweet that went out. Obviously, he deleted it once he realized, but of course, when you have a high profile job, deleting something you say doesn't matter because somebody's going to screenshot it. Especially when you say shot making in this Jazz N-word game. That's awesome. How do you say that? Like, I get it's Nuggets, but like, how does Nuggets and I don't even want to say the word. It's like unbelievable how that happened. And shout out to him, man. I hope it you learned your lesson and stop using the N-word in your group chats with your friends before
Yeah,
something like this happens.
fix their dictionary, man.
Yeah, fix it or just scrub your phone, buddy. It doesn't make any sense. Did you see the story with him?
Oh, yeah, there you go. You're back, dog. I have no idea what you just said. You said, did you see the story?
Oh, all right. Hold on. This is live radio. We're gonna switch microphones here. I tried this nice fancy microphone. It's not working, and so I'm gonna
The
switch
video
live.
froze too, so it's like it seems like a connection thing, but
Maybe I have bad internet.
it's man, I don't know what's going on. But we'll get it. We'll keep going. I think we're still live. It says that we're not live anymore in the program that I'm in, and it's like acting weird. but we're still live.
We're live. I'm watching us. I'm watching
Yeah.
us live right now. Somebody, I think I have janky internet. Can you hear me now? Am I good?
Yeah, you're good. So what was the last story?
So did you see Fernando Tatis, the Padres player, have to apologize for being too good at baseball?
What?
He was the Padres were winning, I believe. They were up like 10-3. He had a 3-0 count, right? 3 balls, 0 strikes for the black man out there. And I guess there's an unwritten rule when you're up 3-0 on a pitch count, like at bat, you don't swing at, basically assuming you're going to get that fourth ball and a walk. He swung, and not only did he swing, he hit a grand slam, and a lot of people didn't like it. And so he had to apologize today, and this happened Monday. The Padres, they win the game. It's like 14-4. Like they ended up winning the game, but apparently there's an so he had to apologize. I don't know, like
No,
that's stupid, right?
No, of course that's silly. That's silly. I mean, I think it's very similar to, like in basketball, like when they're running up the score, or you dunk on the last play or something stupid, and it's like, first of all, I never even heard of this, in baseball, but that's an odd thing to be upset about. You should be upset about, freaking sign stealing and or throwing at batters, or things along those lines. But nah, it's silly.
Here's my thing about it. It's like, all right, what if he took the strike there? He didn't swing, and he took is it now okay for him to swing the bat now because he has one strike? Like,
dog, if you have a good pitch, you swing, right? Like that's what you're supposed to do. So you don't let the pitch come by because of the count. No, the pitch is coming. Is it a good pitch? Swing, motherfucker, if it is a good pitch, and hit a grand slam. He did what he's supposed to do. He's a baseball player.
Yeah, how about this pitcher? Pitch better. Do that. Pitch better. So, I've never even heard of this unwritten rule. You know what? I told Mike, our guy, that I would get into baseball more, right? And I have. I've been watching the Mets religiously. I've caught a couple of games. But you know what? Fuck all of these old heads. They all need to get out of the game. This is exactly why baseball as a whole is trash. They live by these antiquated, unwritten rules at the expense of fun and entertainment. The game is supposed to be fun, and all they do is suck the fun out of it. Like, remember a couple years ago, they got mad at Jose Bautista at the Toronto Blue Jays because of the bat flip. They talked about the bat flip for like 3 weeks on ESPN.
Yeah.
I'm like, get baseball,
over it.
If Karen was a sport, it'd be baseball. Shut up, baseball, you stupid pieces of trash. I hope all of the old baseball writers all catch COVID, get out of my life. Whoa. We want to have fun. We want grand slams. We want bat flips. We want high score baseball games. We want offense. I don't want to watch pitchers throw 100 times. I want action. So stop handicapping your young stars. He's a young player. He's like 20. Stop handicapping your young stars. It's enough. Enough of baseball and their old rules. Fuck off. Now that I'm on a roll, we might as well go ahead and get into it.
Mm-hmm.
You saw your boy LeBron, right?
Oh, yeah.
Trash. Go ahead, tell me, Ty. Trash. That uniform is trash. The movie's going to be trash. It's trash. Once again, LeBron James.
Let me look at it again.
Go ahead. Look at it again while I filibuster. Because just like in the sport of basketball, LeBron James shows exactly why he's not as good as Michael Jordan. Look at that Space Jam jersey. Look at it.
First of all, Jordan didn't design the original Toon Squad jersey.
That original Toon Squad jersey is a instant classic. It's a classic. This thing looks like something our kids made and
you know what? You know what's going to happen?
What?
Well, actually, I know I look at it and I'm not too mad at it. But it can easily change. I mean, the more if it gets torn apart, it continues to get torn apart. I mean, is that the general consensus from everybody?
I don't know. I'm just the general consensus from me.
I know. I'm just curious about what's going to happen, because if it is like a Rams situation, you don't know if they might like change it, or not Rams. I'm thinking like Rams is a similar situation, but I was talking about Sonic. You know how Sonic, like they put out the renderings for Sonic, and they're like, okay, let's Let's go back. Let's change Sonic. They literally like just changed the whole Sonic in middle of the movie being released. But with the jersey, like if people don't like it, I'm sure they'll change it, because I mean the original 2 Squad jersey is dope, but I look at it now, it looks old. Like it looks like it's old. Like it's time for the 2 Squad jersey to be upgraded. And I'm looking at the new one, and I'm like, I'm not mad at it.
Cool, upgrade it better. How about that? Do that. Upgrade it better, because this looks like hot garbage. It is the worst.
The Atlanta Hawks old jersey.
Yeah, like it just looks like they just patched some shit together. Like I don't know, it just doesn't. I don't know. Again,
no, it has like the tunnel, like the little tunnel thing that Bugs Bunny comes out of. That's how the original 2 Squad is. It's supposed to look like that. That target is actually a tunnel. I'm pretty sure.
Thank you. Yeah, it is, and thank you for using that terminology. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's not what it looks like. That's what it looks like on the original jersey. That original jersey was a pop culture thing. I wouldn't give this jersey to the third world country kids that they send the Super Bowl loser T-shirts to. I'd throw these joints right in the furnace. Get out of here. LeBron James, you bum. Now, here's the other problem. You guys hyped this Space Jam movie up. You hyped this Space Jam movie up for, it seems like, his entire career. It seemed like since he was a rookie, they were talking about this damn Space Jam movie. How about you come out with the movie already? If you spent
no,
if the movie is anything like this jersey, the movie also is going to be trash, and the movie is already going to be trash. You know why? Because LeBron James is in it.
That's all you can say, man. All you can do is just hate LeBron. How does LeBron wearing this jersey make LeBron trash? Call the jersey trash. Call the movie trash. LeBron isn't making the movie. LeBron's a basketball player.
It's his production company.
There's a designer.
He's quite literally making the movie. He's quite literally making the movie.
Nah, he's not, man. He's just a figurehead. There's people that are making there are people above. There are other people making this happen. That's not him. And
well, figurehead your ass off this movie and come up with a better jersey.
I'm not mad at it.
I can't believe it, man. When I saw that, I'm like, yeah, we waited all this time. Like, that's the problem with it. That's what's working against this movie. You've been hyping, and in all seriousness, this movie's been hyped for what? At least 4 or 5 years now, right? Like, they've been talking about this movie, and it's not going to be good. And it's not going to be good because the movie's not going to be good. It's not going to be good because the hype is now too big, and it's going to automatically be a letdown because it's not going to be anything special. It's going to be a movie with cartoon characters. Yeah. Listen, man, I am always knowing. So, all right. So now that we're on basketball, let's just go ahead and talk about these playoff games and get it out the way. How much of the playoffs have you consumed? I know the Sixers and Celtics we watched. I don't know if you want to start there because there's a lot we can talk about there as fans, and I know a lot of our viewership and fans are Sixers fans, so we can run through all the other teams and then we can finish with the Sixers if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm real curious about, because I did not catch this game, but I've seen some highlights later in the day, was the Bucks and the Magic.
Man,
like what's up? So
every game that the Bucks play like this is another game that Giannis Antetokounmpo is closer to signing with the Golden State Warriors. He doesn't. A couple things happened with this game. The Magic have their number. The Magic have always played the Bucks. I don't know if it's matchups. I don't know what it is. But if you're Giannis and you're the MVP and most likely back-to-back MVP because he's probably going to win it this year, you can't be getting blown out by the Magic. And I'm not an overreaction to game one guy. Like even, it's a game, and it's a different atmosphere, and I'm not going to because if they go on to beat the Magic and beat them 4-1, then we're not going to talk about this blowout. So I do understand that. So I'll try not to overreact. I can only go by what I saw, and for 9, and he didn't make any 3-pointers. He took like 6 of them. That's not going to happen every game. I mean, Giannis, he had 31 points and 17 rebounds. But the problem is, the Magic, Vucevic had 35 points and 14 rebounds. Like, he averages only 20 points a game. So he overperformed. Fultz played well. All the role players just stepped up. Like, the Magic were making the shots that The Bucks were not. And when you have a team, and that's the danger of having a team constructed like the Bucks. The Bucks are constructed like an old school team where they have the one star player that does everything, and then a bunch of guys that stand around and shoot and wait for him to make the play for them. They don't have it. Like, I know Middleton was an all-star, but I feel like he was just the token all-star because the Bucks were the number one team, and they felt like they had to have more than one all-star. Not to take anything away from Middleton, but when you think of Chris Middleton, he's not an all-star. I guess, like, I mean, by title, right? But like, you're not like, if you ranked all the Eastern all-stars, Middleton's near the bottom. No, like, it's just one of those. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I get that. I'm giving his due as an all-star. But when you think of all-star, you're not thinking of Chris Middleton at all. So, that's all that really happened. Like, the Bucks just when nobody else.
So they're going to win the series though?
I mean, they're the better team. Usually in basketball, the better team goes on and wins the series. Like I said, I'm not going to overreact to one game, and I'm not going to expect Middleton and Brook Lopez to have 20% shooting nights every game. So
yeah,
I mean,
I will say though, what's intriguing to me is the format of being in the bubble. We've never seen this.
Yeah.
First of all, it's not very fair. Orlando's like has home court advantage. It's like, nah, but but still, it's different, right? It's a whole different atmosphere, and even like in terms of where you're going to sleep at night, and like you've seen Donovan Mitchell and who was my man that was recording him after the game from
that was Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray. He was like after the game, he sees him at the hotel poolside. Like, yeah, it's hard. That's weird. Like, that is so weird. But even the fact that you're playing every other day, there is no crowd, there is a home court advantage. It's different. So yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if some weird things happen, like some 8 seeds win, because even in the West, I mean, like, anything can happen, man. Like, it's going to be curious. And yeah.
It's you're right about the no home court advantage. It doesn't feel like the playoffs. I mean, I love that the basketball's on all day from 1:30 to like 8. Like, I have it looks like the Rockets are going to beat the Thunder here. It's 103-83 right now, but end of the third quarter. But it's just strange because the crowd matters. Like, the crowd is an important aspect, especially in playoff basketball. I'm sure that'll benefit some teams. I think it benefits a team like the Sixers, even though we didn't win, but we're the type of team that we need that home crowd to like kind of be the sixth man for us. And teams like the Blazers probably don't need it, like the Lakers probably don't need it, the Bucks probably don't need that. But like teams like I would assume Miami's the same way. But well, no, not Miami because their home fans suck. But a team like the Magic, they probably do need that crowd to help them. The Pacers, perpetual underdogs, probably need that. So it will be interesting to see how later, as like the game 6s and game 7s or the elimination games come along, how that affects them. Because when you're down a couple buckets, like the Sixers definitely could have used the hometown crowd when we were down by 5 with like 2 minutes left and to get us over that edge, and we just we fell apart at the end there. But it was a strange game. I don't expect, Fultz had 15 points. Terrence Ross had 18 points. I mean, I think the Bucks just didn't. The Giannis's team didn't come and help him, and it's just again, you're Giannis. You can't get blown out by the Magic. So, but you did all you could do. So I can't put that straight up on you. I will blame the referees for the Mavericks and the Clippers game. I don't know if you saw what happened with Kristaps Porzingis getting ejected in the third quarter, but you can't eject one of the best players in a playoff game if he gets chippy with another player on the opposing team, especially if the player on the opposing team started it. So him and Marcus Morris kind of got into it because Marcus Morris fouled Luka really hard. And Kristaps didn't like it, so he got in Marcus Morris's face like he's supposed to. He's a teammate.
No, he's not supposed to. With his toothpick arms, he should not do that. But continue.
But he's sticking up for his guy, and I guess Marcus shoved him, and I think Kristaps like swiped at him or did something where they gave him just the technical, just him,
Mhm.
and he freaked out, and his reaction to the getting the tech got him a second tech, and they threw him
Wow.
out the game. Dirk was furious. He tweeted about it. LeBron was mad. He said, "This is bogus. You don't do that in playoff basketball. You can't get rid of the one of the best players on a team." Now the Mavs still had a chance to win, uh, and that happened in like the mid third quarter. The Mavs probably about 2 minutes left in the game. They were down. It was like they were probably down by like 4. They had a stretch of like 30 seconds where I don't know what the hell they were thinking. They had 2 really good opportunities to tie that game. Kawhi missed a shot. Steph Curry gets the rebound on a 4-on-1 fast break. You know what he does? Pulls up for 3. I mean, geez, are you serious?
Who do you think you are? Your
Yeah,
freaking
brother. Yeah, exactly, man. And so,
don't worry, guys, I got this.
And then on the other end, Luka's gassed, because Kristaps is not there, and Luka has 42 points in that game. It's unbelievable. This kid, and then Marcus hits the dagger 3 basically, and then they win by 10 at the end of the whole thing. But
I did catch part of that game in the beginning, and it's an intriguing matchup, and the Mavs definitely will win a game. I wonder if they can win 2 or 3. The Clippers are this. I mean, it's just Kawhi. I mean, it's Kawhi. It's PG. It's too much.
Well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to praise Luka for a minute because the kid's like 20. He had 42 points,
crazy,
7 rebounds, and 9 assists in his very first playoff game. He's 21 years old. He's the greatest 21-year-old in NBA history. And not only that, I'm going to say it right now. Go ahead. Shit. Yep. I'm going to say it right now. Luka Doncic is the greatest white basketball player to ever live. Right now.
Right now. If he retired right now, if he went out and broke his ankle, he goes down as the greatest.
Who? You know who they're not? They're not Luka Doncic. That's right. Goat Doncic. I'm working on the nickname. We'll figure it out. Luka is the GOAT. It's unbelievable what this kid is doing. And Kristaps did apologize after the game. He knows that his team needed him. I get it, man. The refs were too quick to eject him. They were quick with the tech. I don't know if they were trying to control like the game. I don't know what they were doing, but for what happened, like that scuffle happens all the time, and they quickly blew those whistles. And I think it's bogus, and I don't think that it should have happened. Kristaps, he knows that he has to control himself a little bit, but I do also think that the refs were a little bit trigger happy there with that whistle. Let's see, the Raptors and Nets, we're not going to talk about that, even though the only thing I'll say about that series, even though it's going to be a sweep, is that I hate Kyle Lowry every time I see his face. He has a stupid face.
I was thinking that watching it that you don't like him and how you're just wrong for that. Like, why? He's such a great player. He's not a great player. Yes, he is.
He's a good player.
He does so much on both sides of the floor. And I guess maybe you hate the effort thing. Like, oh, everybody tries. You're so wrong, yo. You're so wrong when you watch, especially even now. Like, you can watch. No. These people are not trying. No,
it's not everybody tries. It's the hardest worker in the room thing. I hate. It's like
everybody. How do you hate that? No, but they don't. No, watch the game. Kyle Lowry is above and beyond in terms of effort, in terms of doing whatever it takes to win the game. And he reminds me like Marcus Smart too. Like, I like Marcus Smart a lot. Like, I hope you respect Marcus Smart. I like Marcus Smart. Thank you. I think Mike Lowry seems similar. Kai, I'm like, why did that sound funny? Mike Lowry.
Bad boys. They got bad boys on the
Mike Lowry. Kyle Lowry. He seems like a more skilled Marcus Smart, but they're both short, stocky, strong, but effort. Somebody
Right.
seen today that reminded me before I came in here, PJ Tucker. Like
I love PJ Tucker.
Yo, so how you can't love PJ Tucker and Smart and not love Kyle Lowry? Like I feel like they're similar kind of players. Scrappy.
It's his face. It's his face.
Oh man.
Every time when he does that flopping shit, like, and he looks up at the ref with his big goofy eyes, like every time I see his stupid little face, I want a horse to square kick him right in his mouth. I hate Kyle Lowry.
He's so annoying, but he's one of those players that I hope you would agree. You would want him on your team. You don't want him on your team. You wouldn't want him.
Not at all.
Shit.
Not at all.
Oh,
not at all.
Man.
Not at all.
You don't want to win.
He hasn't done any winning in Toronto. What has he done by himself?
He's not the greatest. He's great. He's not the great. He's not gonna do it by himself. He's not gonna do it by himself.
Well, he's not gonna.
I was gonna say Van Vliet is that dude too.
Van Vliet's gonna earn himself a lot of money. I'll say that about that series. Van Vliet, I believe this is his last year. I think he's a free agent next season after the season's over. I don't know where he's gonna go. I'm sure Toronto will offer him a shit ton of money, but wherever he's going, he's gonna make himself some money. He's the guy's undrafted. He bet on himself. They wanted him to take some bullshit deal. He said no. He went down to the G League, earned himself a roster spot. I love guys like that. Come to Philly. We need a shooter for real. I mean, we need it bad. So the Nets are going to get swept, but this is icing on the cake. They're waiting for next year anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Nuggets and Jazz. The only thing I want to say about that's going to be a good series. That was the best game out of all the game ones that I've watched, and I've watched every single game so far. The Nuggets, Jamal Murray's a beast. Nikola Jokic is a beast. Even I thought I was nervous about his weight loss. It don't matter. He's nasty, bro. Mm-hmm. He is nasty. He looks like the big dumb kid in class that walks really slow, and you don't think he's worth a damn, and then he gets on the basketball court and he's like Jesus, like that's him. He's
literally that literally is him.
That's literally him. It's like, geez, he eats chicken nuggets all day and drinks white milk. Like that's the guy. That's
why. Yeah, and that's why that's why he lost weight. You were scared, but in reality, he got stronger. Man, you can't eat nuggets and milk and just expect that's the recipe for disaster, man. He took care of himself, lost some weight. He's more agile on his feet. He's probably stronger, man.
I also want to. The only other thing in that game. The New York Knicks took Kevin Knox over Michael Porter Jr. The Philadelphia 76ers took Matisse Thybulle over Michael Porter Jr. The Suns passed on him. They took DeAndre Ayton with the first pick. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is nasty. He's going to be nasty. He did cool off in the second half, but his first half showed exactly what he was drafted for. I know he had that injury. I mean, there was probably 15 teams that passed on him. The Magic, the Grizzlies, like all these teams passed. And Michael Porter is going to be nasty, and I'm really upset that he's the exact player that this Sixers team needs. And I do understand why he got passed over. I wanted him. I thought we should have taken him. I would have liked Mikal Bridges. I don't know why we traded him away. He would have been a perfect complement to the team as well. But it is what it is. But
we love some Thybulle though, you know. But,
I love Thybulle, but if I had to pick one of them,
of course,
it would have been MJP for sure. Heat Pacers was today. TJ Jordan showed up at the end of that game, even though the Heat won. I know his name is Warren, but in the bubble, he's been TJ Jordan. He's been the best. I know Dame Lillard, for some reason, won this bubble MVP, which is a farce. TJ Warren should have won it. Enough of Dame Lillard. Enough of this Blazers team that's about to get swept by the Lakers. They did all this new – we covered the Blazers ad nauseum, all for them to get the Lakers in the first round to get swept. I can't wait for that game so we can get the Blazers out of here. Get Damian Lillard out of my life. Get Carmelo Anthony out of my life. They are loving Carmelo Anthony all over social media, all over sports media.
And playing well.
Tobias Harris is everything better than Carmelo right now.
Nobody's comparing him, though. You're comparing him. Nobody's saying...
No. No, people are saying Tobias Harris sucks. We should trade him, blah, 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 blah. He's averaged 19.7 points a game, bro, as the third option. He's averaging like 8 rebounds a game. He's the third option. What are you trying to trade him for? And so he sucks and Carmelo's good because Carmelo gives you 15 points a game and misses wide open 3-pointers.
Sixers,
Get
a
out of
lot, a
here.
lot of Sixers fans might be critical of Harris, or even other people might be critical of Harris. But I don't know if people, or if anybody would take Harris over Carmelo today.
Right now? Oh,
Yeah, I don't think anybody would. I don't think anybody would, man. I think you just have to respect Melo for still playing well. I mean, he had to be on a different team. Like I feel like I would love to have him on the Sixers as a back. I would not have him as a starter. You know, I would not pay him over. But you know, he's good. He's good where he's at. I think he's a good role player in that offense over there as a third option there. But I don't think anybody would say he's better than Harris today, man. Harris is damn near a young Melo.
Yeah, 100%. And the one thing, like we could go into the Sixers now. The Pacers and Heat. The Pacers, they're just outmatched, and it's really because of injuries. It sucks that Sabonis is out. He has that really bad plantar fasciitis.
Oladipo just went out again.
Yeah, like, oh my God. Like, what else can happen to this kid? His eye now, like he just had like whatever his knee or his quad, he tore his quad, and now all of a sudden the eye is taking him out. Like, you have to be the unluckiest guy in the NBA.
He got scratched in the eye. If it's a scratched cornea, he literally will miss games.
Yeah, well, so we're about to get to the Sixers too, but yeah, he's gonna miss a couple games. I don't know when Sabonis is supposed to come back. I know he has that like plantar fasciitis regularly is already bad enough. Apparently, his is like really bad. Like he can't stand on his leg, on his foot. So
that doesn't help. But I don't think it would. I don't think it would matter at all. I think the Heat was taking this series.
No, that's
easily.
the thing. I don't think anybody can match up with DeMontis. I think DeMontis is the Pacers' best player. Okay. I think right now he's an all-star. He played really well all the way up through the all-star break. The Pacers were a contender while Oladipo has been out all season because of Sabonis. You know, and Miles Turner, like TJ Warren wasn't playing like this all season. He just played like this in the bubble. So Sabonis has been carrying that team. He earned himself to be an all-star. So you're missing your two best players, and you know, I just don't think I would love to see. And maybe you're right. It's just we don't know because you can't take anybody's two best players out and get a fair assessment of how that team's going to perform.
You can't. It's just when I look at the Heat, I think it's just for me. You know, way too early overreaction. They might be the goddamn best team in the East. Like they have a chance. Like you can't tell me otherwise. You look at all the other teams. You know, if it's not them, I mean, honestly, man, the Bucks they're scaring me. Even though I know it's one game, but I just can't. I don't know. There's something about them guys that.
No, I understand it. I understand that 100%.
I look at people like the Heat as like I don't think they're gonna let Giannis just do what I don't think they're gonna let that happen. The Heat are way too scrappy, and
Jimmy Butler is a true alpha. That's the one thing you have to. I mean, Duncan Robinson statistically is the best 3-point shooter in the league right now. So he's been killing it. The Dragon, you know, my favorite player on the Heat. I love me some Goran Dragic. Dragic has been playing so well in his new role there. He's a really good point guard. He's like 34 years old right now. He's older, but he can still hit that open shot. He's like the quintessential point guard. He's like one of those guys that just makes it seem seamless. He can get everybody open. He still plays well. He can still get to the basket whenever he feels like it. That's part of the reason why Miami gave him that money. He was really good in Phoenix all them years, and he's doing the same. He's just adjusted so well. He fought a couple injuries, but you know he played well. And then Bam Adebayo, you know he had a pretty decent game. But that team's been hitting big shots. Even so, and that's the other thing with this game today. They blew like a 10-plus point lead. I believe it was up to 16 they blew, and they still found a way to win because Eric Spoelstra is a good coach, and they have Jimmy Butler, somebody who the Sixers are desperately missing because of the last game that we're going to cover, because it's the only game we didn't talk about so far, is the Celtics. I will say I feel much better about the Sixers' chances today. I didn't watch that game one and walk away from it thinking that the Celtics were a better team than the Sixers. I still believe the Sixers have a better roster. I still believe they are the better team. Gordon Hayward has a grade 3 ankle sprain. He is out for 4 weeks. That just came out right before we went live. So I love that for the Sixers because it seemed like whenever the Celtics needed a big shot or a big basket outside of outside of Jason Tatum, and it was Gordon Hayward. Like, he came through and he hit every big three. The Sixers had 18. Here's another one of my not going to overreact to game one. The Sixers had 18 turnovers, and they only lost by like 10 points, less than 10 points, I think. I'm not and the Sixers have battled turnovers all year, but 18 is a lot. They had 12
that's what's scary though. Is like, you know, they might continue. We might continue to have these turnovers, and that's going to be that detrimental. We're going to kill ourselves.
We have Jordan Smith saying he believes that the Celtics don't need Hayward to beat us. You know, it's when you watch Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown picked it up. Jaylen Brown had 29 points, like a quiet 29 points too. Jason Tatum had 32 points, 13 rebounds. I mean, I'm not going to expect him to shoot 60% every game. That, like, you got to look at some of these deeper stats. Like, I respect Jason Tatum. He's a star. He's an early star in the making. It bothers me to watch guys like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Luka Doncic and Devin Booker, and we have Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, like, who seemingly are just content with being who they are. And these guys, these other young stars in their, you know, I'm using the word class. Obviously, I know they all didn't get drafted, but, you know, guys in that, like, 25
younger players,
younger star, the future stars of the NBA. Every year they're fighting to get better. Like, even with Giannis, right? If you want to do a comparison with Ben Simmons and Giannis, it took Giannis about 5 or 6 years to become the player he was now. He wasn't very good his first couple years. And then all of a sudden in his like fourth, fifth year, he like blew up. Like, and he's been improving every year since then. You know, the frustration with Ben Simmons, he's elite at literally every other aspect of the game except shooting. And it's not even that, I don't even think it's an issue of him not being able to shoot. It's his unwillingness to even take the fucking shot.
Of course.
Just shoot the ball, bro. Like, I'm tired of seeing him shoot 4 or 5 shots in meaningless, you know, preseason games, and even the 8 games in the bubble that didn't mean anything. You're taking jump shots, and then all of a sudden when the games start counting, you're not taking any shots.
The fact that people are like shocked when he takes a shot, it tells it there's enough in itself. Like come on, man. It should be you're a damn basketball player. Nobody should be like, oh, when you take a jump shot, it should be like, that's what you're supposed to do. Take jump shots. Right. Dribble the ball. Like, this is basketball 101. So yeah, man. I see Embiid improving. I do see Embiid improving because I feel like he is healthier. I think he's had spurts of just being tired. It seems like his random days, but for the most part, it seems like he's ready for the big games. He's ready to go all game. He tries. You saw him diving. I saw him dive for the ball to get a steal, like in the third quarter or something. Like, literally lay out and dive for the ball and got a steal from it. But I see a lot of effort from him, and I hope the rest of the team can step it up. I don't think, obviously, Embiid, I don't think it's a problem at all. He used to take a lot of jump shots, but he obviously now is going down, banging down low. He's not afraid of using his body to dominate. He can get buckets whenever he wants, and he's going to draw double teams. So constantly. So if the rest of the team does what it's supposed to do, we should be able to do a lot of things in the East. But I don't know if I feel better, after seeing the game. Jason Tatum is scary. He like literally reminds me of a young Kobe. I'm sorry. He trained with him. He learned from him. Just, I don't, regardless of any connection, I'm like, man, he like seems a little Kobe-ish. Like, he seems that way, and he doesn't get too high or too low, and he's just on a mission. And something about that's a little scary. Jaylen Brown is as advertised. I try to crap on him when he got that contract. I try to be like, man, you pay him all this money, and shut me the hell up. I mean, Jaylen Brown's a baller, so I'm scared. I'm scared of the Celtics, and when I'm thinking about the Heat, I'm like, all right, who's the best team in the East? Because I'm off the Bucks. I can't say the Sixers.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the Heat, and I'm like, without the Heat, maybe the Raptors. I like the Celtics. I mean, I hate to say it, just being objective, their squad with Jason Tatum, taking another step and being, I mean, even especially being in a bubble, like we said, it's a different atmosphere. It's just AAU kind of atmosphere. These younger players, like all they got to do is ball. There's no crowd, there's nothing, just ball. And a lot of these guys seem locked in. So, and our guys don't.
So you're picking the Celtics to win this series, and how many games?
7, definitely.
Okay. I will also go. I'm going to go 6 games, and I'm going the Sixers. I think Embiid said it himself, and here's why. Okay. I already said earlier, I do think they're the better team, and I do think that the better teams end up winning in the NBA when it comes to the playoff format more often than not.
With the talent I just named, I don't agree with that unless we have Simmons.
Okay, so Jaylen Brown. Okay, out of the starting
and Marcus Smart. Like I said, we just talked about Marcus Smart earlier. I don't got to bring him back up. I mentioned him earlier. Marcus Smart. Jesus, that guy is a dog.
Yeah, Jordan Smith wanted to know who were going forward with the Celtics Sixers. So you're saying the Celtics in 7. I'm going to say the Sixers in 6. When I say that, if you're taking the starting 10 players, right, the starting 5s from each team, the Sixers are going to have 3 or 4 of the best starting 5, right? That it's Jaylen Brown and it's Jason Tatum, and then it's Embiid, right? It's Tobias Harris, and it's probably Al Horford, right? Like, is there anybody that you would pick? Like, even if Gordon Hayward was healthy, would you take Gordon Hayward or Al Horford or, Josh Richardson? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to go, I just think we would have 3 of the 5 best players on the court. And
Kemba Walker.
I forgot about Kemba. I don't even know what Kemba did that game.
No, he got 19, I think.
Oh, for real? Okay. All right. So,
can't forget Kemba. Yeah, no, the skill. Listen, if we have Simmons,
the scale's different. Okay, I agree with you there. All right, then fine. Then maybe I just think that the Sixers can pull it through. I know we talked earlier, and there's been a lot of chatter. Brett Brown, that hot seat is getting hotter every game. There's a lot of speculation saying that he's not going to be the coach after this bubble, whether we go deep or not. I mean, I guess anything short of a championship.
I think we should do something really unprecedented and fire him mid-bubble. Like, just fire him right now.
Oh, my God, bro. That's the worst thing.
Let's just see what happens. Like, let's let the players feel like, I don't even know. Just to shake it up.
Not only should Brett Brown not be fired, Brett Brown should indeed be given a promotion. And I said that. Okay? Sixers fans, hear me. Not only should Brett Brown not be fired, he should be given a promotion, because this team, Brett Brown can't stop the players from turning it over 18 times. He can't stop players from missing wide open shots. If you're watching the game, the plays he's running are working. The players are just missing the shots because the roster construction's jacked up. Now, is Brett Brown not infallible as a coach? No, right? Joel Embiid needs to touch the ball more, especially down the stretch. He's been dominating these guys. He had the ball 12 times in the first half, and then the second and fourth quarter, he only touched the ball 3 times each quarter. That can't happen. You can't take Matisse Thybulle off of Jason Tatum because you're scared of his offensive liability. When Matisse Thybulle was guarding Jason Tatum was 2 for 9. Like, he was stopping Jason Tatum. He's the Jason Tatum stopper. You can't pull him. Now, a couple things you have to pay attention to. Thybulle and Horford, they played 30-plus minutes in that game and combined only got 6 points. I'm not banking on that. I'm not banking on that every game. Horford will have a big game before this is over. Thybulle will hit Thybulle will match the production he's always gotten, and then the Shake Milton game is coming. He will step it up, and Josh Richardson is streaky. And this is the thing I hate about the Sixers roster construction. Between Josh Richardson, Matisse Thybulle, and Furkan Korkmaz, they're all great at the one thing they do when they're on. They're too streaky. They're like Voltron when it's just the cats. Like individually, they're just the cats. But when you put them together, it's Voltron. Like, they all have to be clicking, and that's rare. Man, that's the problem.
Furkan didn't even get that much play. I just noticed that, right? Like,
he didn't. No, not at all.
I want to see Furkan. I mean, honestly, Shake. I want to see what was Shake's turnovers, man. I want to know I don't see the stats in front of me. because
I didn't have him up in front of me either.
I can
But
only imagine.
he got pulled from that other game because of his turnovers.
Listen,
And
something about Shake. I love me some Shake. I love the future of Shake. I just he's not. I don't think he's there. I just don't think he's ready for the playoffs, for winning championship basketball. I don't think he's ready for that. And yeah, I mean, I don't think it's debatable. He's just young, man. He's kind of frail too. Like, you look at him like, man, you need to get some weight up. Like, get your weight up, bro. Like, and you're not, he's not because you're a chump. He's not because of anything. He seems like, he's built for it. Just you need to be built more. Like, you're built in your heart. You got to build your body up and your skills up. You're just not there, man. I just look at him like, I don't know. He can hit the shot though. He can hit some good shots, and he's confident. So I don't mind him in a starting lineup, but I'm cool with him not closing the game out. I'm cool with Neto or neither.
I love Neto. I'm in the minority. I love Neto. Neto.
That's what I'm saying. I'm cool with him, like with Neto closing the game, or something freaky like Josh Richardson running point, or something along those lines in the final minutes with Horford and Embiid on, or something along those lines with Furkan. Like mix these lines. Like this is why I am kind of anti Brett Brown. Is just, we have the players. We have to understand who we have and play these players better. I feel like, I mean, obviously players can go out there and produce.
Who do you trust though? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem. These guys are too on and off. Like, Shake Milton gives you 40 points and then he has like 12 turnovers. Like, you can't, like, especially when you're young, we can't afford to be playing around. Like, we've changed lineups more than any other team. And here's some others. Like, here's the difference in the game, right? We lost by 8 points. We had 18 turnovers compared to their 7. That's the game right there. We would have won by 10 points had we had the same amount of turnovers as them, at least.
But
right?
you talk crap on Brad Stevens, and it's like, man, this is why I like him, because his teams seem always running. Listen, they always seem to be crisp, to the point, bounce pass, overhead pass. They do it by the book, and they run practice. Probably it just seems like, I don't believe that we run the same kind of practice, or we talk to our players the same kind of way. I don't think we have the same kind of culture and that same kind of.
Well, obviously, yes, the culture's but the Spoelstra doesn't coach his team any different. Like, there's a different culture between him and like Carlisle, right, out in there,
Mm-hmm.
Mike Malone and Nick Nurse. Like, the cultures for each team is different. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, Brett Brown. Each coach. Wade Phillips was successful for plenty of years being a player's coach. He wasn't the Bill Cowher. He wasn't the Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. Andy Reid's not like that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and blame.
But I think you have to. I think every leader has to adjust to their
every player
who was underneath you, to the players, adjust to the players.
We're not there, so I can only go by what I've heard the players say, and from. JJ Redick on his podcast said he would love to play for Brett Brown again. That issue was a front office issue. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Furkan Korkmaz, Al Horford have all been on record saying they love Brett Brown. They love playing for him. The only player that has said that is Jimmy Butler, and you can't listen to him because he's had a problem with every team.
Just wait until Brett Brown gets fired eventually. Everybody's gonna love him. They're gonna be like, man, they're gonna hate that he got fired because you love him. I think everybody's gonna love him, but you're not getting the fucking job done. Hey, I can love whoever I love. I can love you all day long. You're not getting the job done. I love you. Let's come to the Thanksgiving party, but we cannot be my employee anymore because you're not getting the job done. Period.
Todd, we had a larger field goal percentage than them. Here's the difference in the game, and this has nothing to do with coaching, right? We already went over the turnovers. We already established that's the game. Do you agree with that? 18-7 turnovers. We lost by 8 points. That's the game, right?
Yeah.
Even if we cut that in half.
I also look at Embiid. Like, Embiid's going to have to dominate. Embiid's going to have to score 30 every night.
Fine. That you're a superstar. If you want to be treated like a superstar, that's what you have to do, Embiid. You're the franchise player. Giannis does it. James Harden, all the star players for all the star teams at the top levels do that. Yeah, buddy, you have to score 30 points minimum, bare minimum. So go out there and do it and stop. And he even said that he has to do more, and it has nothing to do with scoring more points. Like Joel Embiid, when you get the ball, there's been countless times, and I know you've seen it. He'll sit there and he'll square up, and it'll take him 20 seconds to decide what the hell he wants to do. No. When you get the ball, you need to start backing down to that basket. And if they collapse on you, that's when you kick it out. Stop shimmying, stop doing fake stutter steps, make a decision, power your ass in there, draw the foul. It's simple, right? But here's the thing. Brett Brown can say that to him, but what is he going to do if, like, same thing with Ben Simmons? Oh, Brett Brown needs to make Ben Simmons shoot. All right, so what are you going to do? You're going to bench him then? Go ahead.
Yes.
See how that goes.
Yes, you have to.
Man.
You can lead. Right. You can be a leader in that situation and say, this is what I expect of you. Yeah. And if you don't do that, you can't. Just like I'm saying about fire Brett Brown. I have expectations. Yeah. My expectations are not what I'm seeing. So you're cut. Like
I got you. Oh, let me get to that real quick before I forget. That's why I was saying he needs to be promoted. Here's another thing: free throws. The Celtics, they shot 3 more free throws than we did, but they hit 88% of them, and we only hit 78% of them. That's the game too. You got to be 80% from the free throw line in professional basketball. Sorry, like you got to hit your free throws, especially if you're going to get to the line 20 plus times. But anyway, if Brett Brown's on the hot seat and we're talking about firing him, which a lot of people are, I'm cool with that. You better have Greg Popovich in the tuck. You better have somebody. If you can go ahead and tell me a coach, like any coach that you find is at best going to be marginally better than Brett Brown. There's nobody that's head and shoulders out there. So at that point, why the hell would you change the coach? Second, if you're going to fire him anyway, at least let him build the team that he wants. Give him the best chance to win. He hasn't coached the team ever since they fired Sam Hinkie. Because the fans, for this exact same reason, fans are impatient. They seem to forget we're a year ahead of schedule from this whole process thing. The team is good, so the expectations change. Cool. Brett Brown, Elton Brand, and Brian Colangelo came in here and gutted the roster. They made all these trades. They did all this stuff because Adam Silver said, oh, we can't do this tanking. Oh, the Sixers, you have to try to win. All right, we're trading draft picks. We're trading players. We're signing this guy. We're giving absurd contracts to this guy. Let Brett Brown buy the groceries and cook the dinner. And if it's nasty, then you fire him because guess what? You're going to fire the front office and you're going to fire the coach anyway. And you're going to start over anyway. So at least give him the best chance to keep his job and let him coach the team that he wants to coach. Let him get the personnel that he wants to get. Like I said, everybody's in a rush to fire Brett Brown. I'm never saying he's a top 5 head coach, but I could make the argument he's somewhere in the 8 to 13 range, somewhere in there. Either way, he's a top half coach. Like you can't just like the good franchises, even in bad times, don't get rid of their coaches, bro.
I hear you.
You have to have the continuity. The good teams have continuity. It's there. I've seen people say he's the worst coach in the league. Well, first of all, that's not
crazy.
true.
That's crazy.
Ever since we stopped tanking, and that's where I'm going to start grading him on, multiple 50-win seasons, right? Every year he's won 50-plus games. Offensive and defensive ratings of over 100. There's only a handful of coaches in the league that are doing that. I get there. You have to understand what's disappointing and what's bad coaching. Brett Brown is not a bad coach.
I got it. We trade Brett Brown and Ben Simmons to the Suns for Monty Williams and Devin Booker. And we get
the Suns will laugh us out of the building.
What do you mean? Brett Brown's better. I mean, right? He's better than Monty Williams, you would say. I mean, I'm just saying I wouldn't mind if Brett Brown gets fired and one of our consistent step up. And I was thinking about Monty Williams, but I forgot that he left. And you're right. That's what I was thinking about was Andy Reid. Like a very similar scenario of he's a great coach. Nobody loved Andy Reid, but it's like, you know what? You've been here. You just need to change the scenery. The Eagles got pretty bad after that. It seemed like with Chip Kelly and his other guys, but lo and behold, they come back around and get Doug Peterson, and now they have a good squad. I'm just making the same kind of scenario. It could happen. Like Brett Brown, he's obviously a really good coach, a great coach. I would probably even say to see what he did with our team when we were bad, when we had like no good players, and for our guys to play hard. I loved it. I was like, man, Brett Brown. I hope I was actually hoping that he wouldn't leave us when we were so bad before we had the talent. I was like, man, I hope Brett Brown sticks around. And now that we have a talent, it's like, man, I wish Brett Brown would coach his talent even better. But I think he's obviously would get another job immediately if he was fired, and it might be successful somewhere else. But we have to not think that way. We have to think about what's going to be best for our team. And when I look at our roster and I look at what Brett Brown's doing with it, obviously he's not the GM, but how he's coaching it even and how he's running it, because he is the leader. This is one of the things. We don't have Butler anymore. I don't see a leader on the court. I love Embiid. He just doesn't seem to be that kind of leader. He tries to be a little bit, maybe, but Harris tries to be, but he seems a little iffy. I don't see a leader on that court, man. And it seems like it has to be the coach to an extent, like to tell these players, this is who's the leader on the Celtics, right? Like there's really not, man. It's a team. It's the team. Like, so you look at even the Warriors, is Curry the leader? I don't know. I don't think Curry's a leader. Like Kerr is a leader. Like the coach, I think we just need to change a different person at the helm. I believe that, man. I'm sorry.
So, the Jordan Smith is really active on here. Said, where's the progression? Brett Brown should have been fired after the first time we lost to the Celtics. That's nonsense. We need to call a spade a spade. He's a horrible fit with the team he has. That's my point. This is not his team. That's like literally, you just made my argument for me. He's not a horrible fit because we've already seen our star players say they like playing for him. They love him. The front office.
They can like it all they want.
No,
they don't have a ring.
I got you. But the only one team can win it. Like that's all right. So is Steve Kerr a bad coach because they only won 12 games this past year? He lost all his, but he's a great coach, right? He's a title winning coach. You should win more than 12 games. It doesn't matter who your players are. Like, no, it matters who your players are on the court.
When he had his best players on the court, he won the games.
But Brett Brown doesn't have his best players on the court. Ben Simmons is half the time one of our stars is hurt all the time. Like it's like also roster construction matters. Do you agree that there's certain coaches in the league that have really good coaches that just are coaching bad teams, so the teams are bad, right? Like that's a real thing that happens. Mm-hmm. The chemistry matters. If you watch Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, they can't play well together. They just can't. All right, Jordan, what are you talking about? He says Kawhi's shot saved Brett Brown. Yes. You know why? People seem to forget we were a quadruple fadeaway bounce shot away from moving on, and we would have beaten the Bucks. We've been beating the Bucks ass all year. We matched up well, and we could have beaten that Warriors team because they were all hobbled up. Anybody could have been the champion there. But Kawhi Leonard's quadruple bounce fade, something 1 in a million chance. That's Brett Brown's fault, I guess, right? I mean, whatever. But what's the alternative then? Don't be in a rush to fire Brett Brown, and then enjoy Ty Lue when he comes next year. Then, all right, enjoy that.
No,
all right,
we can't have that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who's out there? And like, don't give me Jay Wright and these college. Like, anybody who mentions a college coach is a nut job.
I wouldn't be okay with Jay Wright.
Go ahead. Tell me the last college coach that came in and set the league on fire. Not Brad Stevens, because that's the number one answer I get. What has Brad Stevens done?
He about to
Brad Stevens. No, he's not about.
They've been very well. They've done very well. The Celtics.
They haven't had any They haven't had marginal, like, not as much as the Sixers. It's the same shit. It's literally the same. They're just or second round exits or in the playoffs every year, 50-win seasons. The same shit as the Sixers. But yet Brad Stevens is the godchild sent from above. But Brett Brown has been doing the same shit. And so I don't care. Don't talk to me about lesser players. They have Jason Tatum, who everybody's goggling after. They have Kyrie Irving. Like, get out of here. It's enough is enough. And so progression. Every year, the team is better. Joel Embiid is better than he was. Ben Simmons is better than he was. I don't care if he's not shooting jump shots. We just watched him get a 34-point triple-double. His ratings, he's a stalwart. He's an all-team defensive player. They're multiple-time All-Stars. Don't talk to me about progression.
I wish we ran it back. Like, I really just wish we ran it back, man. If we would have ran it back, we would have ran it back with Butler this season.
So, but that's, again, front office already made it clear, right? Butler was never going to stay. Made it clear this is Ben and Joel's team, right? And so Butler said, well, no, I want to run the team. And honestly, we probably should have let him. And that would have been the good time to trade Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. You need to decide who you're going to run the team with. If you were going to keep Butler, you trade Ben Simmons.
Yeah, because Embiid and Butler had a good relationship. They should. Yeah. I'm sure Embiid would have been cool with Butler being the leader, and as long because Embiid still should be scoring more, and I think Butler even understands that Embiid probably should be dropping 30 still, and Butler's okay with dropping 20, 25 as long as they win. Like, man, I just wish we would have ran it back. I mean, obviously it was tough with all the players we had to sign, but shit, it's gonna haunt me, man, for the rest of my life.
Well, we'll see what happens with the Sixers and the rest of the playoffs. The Lakers and the Blazers are about to tip off here in a little bit. We will wrap up the show quickly going through our NFC North preview. So, you had the Vikings winning this division. Do you still feel confident in that pick?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Yes, because of Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins and their defense and their defense.
I got you. Yeah. So here, when I went through this, I picked the Packers, and I'm less confident today. I am leaning towards the Vikings, mainly because Adam Thielen will be back and healthy. He battled injury all year. They drafted one of the best receivers in the draft in Justin Jefferson. I have no idea how the Eagles passed him up and let the Vikings take him. I wanted the Bills to move up to get a wide receiver. That's how much I like Justin Jefferson. Now, of course, it was because of the Stephon Diggs trade that the Vikings were able to do this. So that was what they used to replace Stephon Diggs. But Adam Thielen's one of the best receivers in the league. Justin Jefferson has the potential to do that. I mean, the only question mark I have for them, I like Kirk Cousins. I'm not one of the Kirk Cousins haters. I think he can win you a Super Bowl. I just don't think he can be the reason. But they're doing a good job of building a team around him that can compete. They need to bolster that offensive line and hopefully protect him. So we'll see with them. I like their safeties. I'm not a fan of their cornerbacks. Xavier Rhodes, he came over from Indianapolis. I don't know. It's just I feel like people can beat them deep. You have Aaron Rodgers, you have Matthew Stafford in that division, and of course you have Nick Foles going to win that starting job in Chicago, right?
No,
Nick Foles. No, you believe in Mitch? You want Mitch?
No. I do not believe in Mitch. I'm just saying I don't think Nick Foles is going to win it. I would definitely start Nick Foles over Mitch Trubisky, though.
For real?
I mean, I guess it would depend on training camp. I got to see training camp and how they look this year. Trubisky is young and a little bit more mobile, but I like me some Foles, man. I'd rather have the veteran. But he might even have an impact just being a clipboard holder, though. He might even be an impact for Trubisky being the backup. So I mean, we'll see. But I like Foles being on that team, and I would expect him to be a better option for that team right now than Trubisky.
Right.
But I don't think he's going to get the job unless training camp just looks that awful for Trubisky. He's been given the reins, it seems like.
I mean, they both get hurt all the time, so I'm assuming both of them are going to start at least 3 or 4 games apiece, and then we'll figure out who's the best there because it seems like neither one of them can stay healthy. I mean, you're right about that. Like him just being there and helping Mitch. I know Mitch. There's been reports that Mitch has fixed his mechanics. That's all he worked on this entire time. He watched every game back and tried to go over his head what went wrong and blah 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 blah. A lot of the stuff that you hear it's great that you say that, and it's great if you really did put in that type of work, but we need to see it, buddy. You don't get the benefit of the doubt. Matt Nagy, I think this is it for him. Like you need to be the guy that they brought you over from Kansas City to be. Again, obviously that team's going to run through the defense, right? Khalil Mack's there. You guys are going to live and die by Khalil Mack. They added Robert Quinn. So, I mean, and then Akeem Hicks will be back. So that defense is going to be nasty, bro. Yep. That defensive line is going to be nasty. I know they added Jimmy Graham. I mean, I don't know, the ghost of Jimmy Graham. Let's see which version we'll get. Typically, history and time doesn't work backwards, so I would assume he's not going to be as good as he once was. But we'll see. Their offensive line is still an issue for them. And that's like it bothers me that a professional football team doesn't understand that you're only as good as your offensive line. You can have a serviceable quarterback, If you don't have a good offensive line,
It don't
you're not going to
matter
be a good team. It don't matter. You could have Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O., and Joe Montana, like,
if you're running
and
around. If you're running around for your life, it don't
yeah, it
matter.
don't matter. It don't matter if you don't have a good offensive line. So, yeah, we'll see what happened. We'll see what happens with them. The Lions. I want Matt Patricia to work out. I like Matt Patricia.
Really?
They lost. I do. They lost a lot of games last year by like 3 points. Like literally, like 6 of their losses were like by like 3 points. They're just right there. They need. I don't know what they need. They need defense. He's a defensive coach without any great defensive players. I know Jamie Collins was like their big acquisition. He got hurt. He didn't play all year. I mean, you have Matt Stafford. He needs to stay healthy. Like, come on, Matt Stafford. Like, get it together. Probably the second best quarterback in that. I mean, they were balling before he got hurt. But it's just they don't have anything around him. They need a running game. They need a lot. It's that team. It sucks. It sucks for Matt Stafford because I think he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They need receivers. I know Marvin Jones and Galloway, and I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with them. They're good stat stuffers, I guess, but that's because they're losing all the time. So somebody has to catch the ball. I don't know if they're good or not, but their running game. They have Bo Scarborough, J.D. McKissick, Ty Johnson. I mean. They just got to figure it out. They got to figure out what's what there. They got to establish a core, and Matt Patricia's running out of time, and I think he's getting a pass because they lost so many close games. I think the jury's still out on him as a head coach, but I like him. I want him to work out. He's different. I like to see stuff like that. But of course, that division is led by Aaron Rodgers, and I'm a little bit sick of the if Carmelo Anthony, if everybody's giving him love because everybody wrote him off, the stuff that Patrick Mahomes is doing, Aaron Rodgers have already did that, and he did it better. All right, already. Okay, Aaron Rodgers in 2010 won 4 road games on the way to winning the Super Bowl, easily more impressive than anything Patrick Mahomes has ever done and will ever do in his life. All right,
wow.
So, Aaron Rodgers, don't disrespect God. Don't disrespect the God is all I'm saying.
I feel you. No, I feel you. I mean, he's clearly the one of the GOATs. He's not Brady, but he's clearly one of the GOATs, and he should have a ton of respect. I mean, I love Rodgers, and I guess normally I still don't like their coach, I guess. I still don't like
Matt LaFleur.
Yeah. I still don't feel right about those two guys together. I think Rodgers is done. I mean, he's gonna play some more good seasons because he's good, but I don't. It's just hard to see with the talent around him, and even with the coach, what they're gonna if they're gonna be able to win it all again. Something big's gonna have to happen. I think they need another coach and like a big name receiver. Or some kind of great defense to help, maybe something like that would help, like a great defense to really let Rodgers, let loose and actually have a chance to win every game. Because you can't do it all, man. He can't do it all.
No, 100%. They did the right thing. They bolstered that offensive line for him. That's a big thing. He was running for his fucking life the last 2 years. So they fixed the offensive line. They got this AJ Dillon kid. I don't know if you've seen him. His quads look like horse legs. Like he's like probably bigger than Saquon Barkley's legs. Like he's one of those guys. Like yeah, it looks dirty. So if he's an upgrade, Jamal Williams will never see the ball again. If he's anything, if AJ Dillon's any good, their defense is good. The one thing that they're going to need is who's going to be that second receiver to Devontae Adams. Like they need another receiver. Antonio Brown, Dez Bryant wants to play. I know Dez Bryant's working out with the Ravens this week. We'll see what happens.
That'd be great.
That'd be great for him. I want Dez Bryant to get a job so bad. I know he hasn't played in a couple years, but I just want him to get a job. I don't care if he's good or not. I really don't. But so the one thing that the Packers need to shore up a division title there is they need a second receiver. At least all the other two teams have good receivers. Devontae Adams, who's the Marquez Valdez Scantling, whatever his name is. I don't like him as a second receiver. He's a third receiver to me. They need somebody with Devontae to help him out. So we'll see what happens. I got the Packers. You got the Vikes. It's probably going to be down to them two anyway.
The Bear. I'm not writing the Bears off either. I mean, I think it's a tough division. It's always been a tough division.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, but I'm not writing the Bears off either. I think they're gonna be obviously a force to be reckoned with as well. And I write the Lions off though. Well, I'm not writing the Lions off either. They're gonna be decent, but I can't give them more than 6-7 wins.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, with this extra playoff, the extra playoff spot, we'll see. I mean, I'm kind of interested to see, what teams, are going to get that third team in the division inside the playoffs. So, yeah, next week we will. That's it for my list. I don't know if you have anything else. Do you? Before we get out of here, do you have a game ball to give away?
Yeah, it got to be Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell dropping 57. That was dirty. That was wild. And not only is that he lost, so I think he needs a game ball because he literally didn't get a game ball after dropping 57. So here's a fake game ball for you, Donovan Mitchell, man. I know you're watching. I know you're a huge fan. But keep balling. I love Donovan Mitchell, man. I like the Jazz. I think that I think with Gobert as well. I mean, I know you said that they have this issue. I know that you keep talking about. I don't know, man. I don't really believe in that. I think that both those guys are going to be there.
They don't see. I mean, those are the reports going into the playing games. But I mean, as you know, the sports, like you can beef with somebody and be on the team, and while the games are being played, be cool because you have to be. But I mean, all the reports were saying that their relationship.
You can't get rid of Gobert. He's just too much of a defensive beast in the middle of the court, and Donovan Mitchell is nasty. Like Dwayne Wade, freaking. I don't know what you want to call him, but he's just nasty. And so I gotta give him a game ball for dropping 57 in a losing effort. Man, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, no, I dig it. I will give my game ball to Jason Wright, who was recently appointed by the Washington football team to team president. And which makes that special is he is the first black president in NFL history for any for any team, in the NFL. He played for a bunch of teams. Like I think he got drafted by the Cardinals. He played for the Browns. I remember him from the Falcons during the Mike Vick times. But yeah, he played. I think he retired in like 2011, and I think he's done some other stuff, front office stuff around the league. But shout out to him, man. He gets the game ball. First black president in NFL history, Jason Wright. It's odd that the Washington racial slurs went from the racial slurs to like ousting their racist leader, and now they're hiring black presidents. They're just going all in. The Red Tails are coming.
The Red Tails are coming. The Red Tails
are coming. Yeah, we're going to speak this to existence. The Red Tails are definitely coming.
I love it. First of all, I love it, obviously. But what I want to see is a black owner. Is what we need to see is black owners. But this is a start. This is great.
Yeah,
let's get some more representation. There's too many black players and black people involved in the sport to not be black people in the higher positions. It makes zero sense. Like they're working there. How they clearly are capable. They should be up there. They know a ton about the game. So let's just get representation the proper way, and just not hiring your cousin and your brother just because they're your cousin and your brother.
100%. Well, that does it for this show. Thank you, people, for watching and joining us on social. Please like, share, follow us at Stuff About Sports. Check out the website, www.giveusashot.network. We got plenty of other podcasts. If you have a podcast, and you want to monetize it, you want to get some promotion, or you're thinking of starting one, Ty is right there. He will help you. He's done it. He's done it successfully. He will make it work for you. So give us a shout out. But until then, everybody be safe, and we will talk to you next week.